Imagine waking up every morning unsure if today brings freedom or the moment you break. For 15 years, Emma's love story turned into a nightmare. Whispered compliments became controlling demands. Kind touches morphed into bruises, and every knock at the door made her heart race. Trapped under a roof she once called home, she survived on fear, hope, and tiny sparks of defiance. Stay with me to hear how she clawed her way back from darkness to reclaim her life. In the spring of 2005, 22-year-old graphic designer Emma met David at a gallery opening. He was charming, attentive, and made her feel seen. Within days, they were inseparable. Late-night calls, surprise flowers, promises of forever. But beauty quickly curdled into control, complimenting her outfit while telling her who she could see, applauding her career while insisting she give up weekend work. Friends noticed her fading sparkle. Family worried when her laughter stopped. To Emma, it felt like love. To David, it was ownership. By month 3, her world had shrunk to their small apartment, with David's eyes on every move she made. That was the beginning of 15 years in the shadow of a man she once adored. Early on, David's concern seemed protective. "I just want you safe," he'd say, as he gently rifled through her bag after work. Then came the insinuations. Her friends didn't really care about her. Her parents didn't understand their love. He insisted she quit evening shifts at the design studio. Small victories, he claimed, less lateness, fewer arguments. But each concession carved away at her independence. Family calls dwindled, girls' nights vanished. Emma replaced real laughter with whispered reassurances to herself that this was for her own good. Alone in an apartment that once felt cozy, she began to doubt her own judgment. Isolation was his first weapon, and it worked. By year 4, gaslighting was David's art form. If Emma questioned his jealousy, he'd lean close and whisper, "You're imagining things." When she confronted him about endless phone checks, he'd smirk. "If you had nothing to hide, why worry?" He praised her sensitivity one moment, then scorned her tears as inappropriate the next. She enrolled in therapy secretly, scribbling notes in a hidden journal. Yet every positive breakthrough in session was met with his rage when he discovered it. Torn pages, shouted accusations of betrayal. Emma began to lose trust in her own memory. Was that tear on her cheek from sorrow or from wind outside? Every night she fell asleep replaying conversations, convinced she'd misremembered again. His constant rewriting of reality left her unmoored. Year 9 brought the first slap. A trivial disagreement. He accused her of looking too happy, and suddenly his hand struck her cheek. Shock froze her breath. In the weeks that followed, the violence escalated. Shoves in the hallway, choking grips in the kitchen, wild swings at empty air, until knives clanged against cabinets. Emma learned to hide her arms beneath long sleeves, to mask bruises with strategic scarves and makeup. Visits to doctors became routine checkups, she explained with trembling smiles. Inside, her heart pounded with terror that this would be her permanent reality. Each night, she counted bruises as if they were tally marks on a prison cell, reminding her she remained alive and captive. On what should have been her 35th birthday, David's assault nearly ended everything. He slammed her into the bathroom door, leaving her crumpled on the cold tile. Through the haze of pain, she heard sirens, neighbors calling the police. At the hospital, a social worker named Mara slid a paper across the table. "Do you want to live?" Emma stared at the words as if seeing them for the first time. Her heart ached with a question she'd never asked herself. Had she been surviving or merely existing? In that sterile room, hope flickered amid broken bones. She signed consent forms for protection orders and shelter admission. The choice was hers at last, to leave behind the only life she'd known in 15 years. With Mara's help, Emma crafted a secret escape. She packed a small duffel, ID, cash, a prepaid phone, and her grandmother's locket for luck. On a rainy night, she slipped out through the side gate while David slept. Her heart thundered as tires on wet asphalt echoed her steps. She arrived at a women's shelter, dripping and breathless, clutching the locket as if it contained her future. Staff wrapped her in warm blankets, offered tea, and listened without judgment. In that circle of strangers turned allies, she realized she was still breathing by choice, not by force. The storm outside mirrored her inner turmoil, but inside, a new life was beginning. In the months that followed, Emma navigated courtrooms, therapy sessions, and job interviews with trembling determination. She found a small apartment with sunlit windows and painted the walls sky blue, her color of hope. She reconnected with estranged family, sharing laughter she once thought lost. In support groups, she listened to others' stories and offered her own as testament to resilience. Slowly, she reclaimed her name on social media, deleting her old profile and creating Emma Free in its place. A freelance graphic designer once more, she designed a logo reading "Survivor Strong" for her first independent client. Every keystroke whispered, "I exist, I create, I'm alive." Empowered by survival, Emma became an outspoken advocate for abuse survivors. She spoke at local schools, sharing her story with hushed honesty. Abuse isn't love, it's control. She launched a mentorship program for women leaving shelters, pairing them with career coaches and mental health counselors. On stage at a survivors conference, she held Mara's locket aloft, the same one she fled with, and said, "This held my past, and now holds my power." The applause that followed was more than validation. It was a chorus of healing. Emma realized that by turning her trauma into testimony, she could light the darkest paths for others. Emma's journey from silent suffering to fearless advocacy shows that no darkness is final. What moment in her story moved you the most? How would you summon courage in her place? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice could be the spark someone needs. If Emma's triumph inspired you, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to join our community of truth seekers and survivors. We share true drama story times that remind us hope survives when we choose to fight. See you in the next chapter. What would you do if you were in Emma's shoes? Tell us in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe for more true drama and share with your friends.